Hi everyone, welcome back to the Mystic in the Woods. I'm Kate, and I just wanted to take a minute to let you know about a new masterclass that I'm going to be hosting on November 18th. So this is going to be a 2-hour masterclass on an introduction to the Gnostic Goddesses. So we'll be talking about their history, we'll be talking about the Gnosis and the more esoteric lessons that can come from them, and we're going to be doing a journey to understand how you can work with them yourself. So the Gnostic Goddesses, as you've probably heard me say before if you've been following the channel for a while, is a huge part of my work as a priestess. It's one of the lineages that I work within the most. Goddesses like Asherah and Lilith and Eve are very important to me on both my personal path and in my work with others. So this workshop or this masterclass is something that I'm really excited to hold because I've been getting a lot of questions about this, especially over on Instagram. If you guys want smaller chunks on this type of thing, then the Mystic in the Woods over on Instagram is where you can find me. But I've been getting a lot of questions in my DMs about how to learn more about them, resources, stuff like that. So I've decided to do this 2-hour masterclass. And there are so many reasons that I love this particular lineage, but one of the things is that we know that the pantheons that Christianity grew out of, the Christian pantheon itself, have always had goddesses, priestesses, and sacred women. We know this because the history tells us. We can find it in the scriptures, we can find it in the stories, we find it in the archaeology. Scholarship tells us that these women and these goddesses were a huge part of these traditions. And they were effectively removed, right? So Asherah was basically removed. She eventually became Sophia, who eventually became the Holy Spirit. Mary Magdalene, of course, demoted to repentant prostitute. Mother Mary completely watered down from her status as a very, very powerful priestess. Thecla, completely unheard of. She preached beside Paul for the remainder of his life as an equal in his ministry, just like Magdalene preached alongside Yeshua as a equal in his ministry. We have Lilith and Eve, of course, the first women, which there's so much more to those two stories, but the patriarchy and the church took the story of the Garden of Eden and warped it into this downfall of humanity instead of what it was meant to be, which was the awakening of humanity. Eve eating from the tree to awaken humanity. And when we reclaim these stories, whether or not it is a pantheon or a lineage that you are going to work within yourself, when we reclaim these stories, something in us begins to shift. Something in us changes because archetypes and stories and myths matter. It's one of the important ways that our psyches develop our sense of self and understand who we are and who we are in relation to society. And for so long, women's stories were erased or left out. And so as we reclaim them, things within us start to awaken and start to shift. This is why Mary Magdalene is such a huge gateway into these sort of alternative spiritual pathways, right? So tarot and Mary Magdalene, a huge chunk of my followers usually have come into this world through either the tarot or through Mary Magdalene. And it's because Mary Magdalene's story is so powerful. It's paradigm shifting. It's revolutionary. But so are these other stories of these other women that we still have yet to reclaim. So I'm really, really excited to be doing this 2-hour masterclass. It's something I've been thinking about for a really long time. And we'll be doing that live November 18th at 6 o'clock Central Time. The recording will be available and sent out to everybody who purchases, of course. And like I said, we're going to do a break in the middle, but we're going to spend the first half of that on the history, the scholarship, the gnosis, and then we're going to go into journey work and Q&A and kind of everything like that. So if that is something that you would be interested in, then the link to join is below. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.